Welcome to Lingua Latina Tutorials with Mr. K. This is Chapter 41, Lesson 4. We're reading here from some original Latin poetry by Ovid in his Fasti, which was his poem about the calendar, the Roman calendar, from Book 2. This is about the twins exposed. So this is when Romulus and Remus were abandoned. And the first thing you should do is read through the Latine Disco and discover the rules for marking up this kind of poetry, which is elegiac, meaning that you have a hexameter verse followed by a pentameter verse in alternating lines. And what you need to do to be able to read this properly at first is to mark the lines with the long and short marks and dividing up the various poetic feet. And then come back, and once you've finished this entire section, which is about 40 lines long, from line 199 to line 231, so just about 31 lines, mark all of those lines with long and short marks, and then practice reading poetry. So follow along as I practice reading this aloud. Silvia vestalis caelestia semina partu, dederat patruo, regna tenente suo, is jubetau ferri pueros et in amne necari, quid facis ex istis Romulus altererit, Iusere cusantes peragunt lacrimosa ministri, flent tamen et gemenos in loca sola ferunt, albula quem Tiberim mersus Tiberinus enundis, rededet hibernis forte tumebat aquis, hic ubi nunc forasunt lintres errare videres, quaque jacent vales maxime circe tuae. So you can hear the natural rhythms of the language as I read that aloud, and I'm reading from my marked up text that I just put together. So you should mark up your own text and practice reading this aloud, and then come back and let's translate. We have the Vestal Virgin Silvia had given birth to heavenly seed, heavenly offspring, with their uncle holding the throne. He, meaning the uncle, orders that the boys be brought out and killed in the river, in the Amnis, which is another river word for flumen we've seen before. What are you doing? This is Amulius saying. He's like, what the heck is going on? He's afraid that there's going to be a king coming from this line from his brother, which he doesn't want. He says, from those guys, there will be another Romulus, and there had been a previous Romulus as king in the line. The ministers, the servants, rejecting the sad commands, iusa lacrimosa. Notice how the words are separated. They go on, nevertheless. They weep, flint. Nevertheless, at last, nevertheless, though they not that tandem is at last, and nevertheless they bring the twins into lonely or empty places, sola loca. The Albula, which Tiberinus, having been drowned in its waves, gave the name the Tiber, by chance was swelling with its winter waters. Here, where now there are forums, you might have seen little boats wandering around, and you might have seen little boats wandering around in those places where your valleys now lie, Circus Maximus. He's actually speaking to the Circus Maximus and saying to it that where your valleys now lie, you might have seen, and this is a potential subjunctive, you might have seen little boats wandering around. Go ahead and translate the rest of that section now and go to the exercise.